Well then. Well then. That should be good. Here's this way. I'm actually gonna since all the buffering was occurring, I know that's going to throw the timer way off. So I just stopped it when you said what time you had, because yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I've had days like that myself. One of those, I knew you were timing it on your side at that point, so the timer being off is just one of those things. Thanks for doing the backup run. Not quite yet. We actually have to do another one. So, yeah, so the next one will be me actually doing some arms. Alright, we're clear on your side. Yeah, that's one of those that he wasn't able to make it back early, but he is going to make it back on time, so I'm like, okay, that'll work. I'm kind of rusty at what I'm fixing to be doing anyhow, so yeah. Alright. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be around at that point, but good luck on the run. Once it's alright, I'm going to test my audio and make sure everything is right. Alright, I think that should get all of that took care of there. So, hello everyone. I am Rampant Epsilon, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a additional bonus run. It's actually the new fighting game that Nintendo came out with last year called ARMS. No, it's not Smash, even though I'm kind of hyped for that one too. But one of those, I am one of the moderators over there alongside another one called Malieve. And the community is kind of on the small side, but what I'm going to do for you guys tonight is going to be a one-player Grand Prix run using any arms. The name sounds long and convoluted, mainly because it kind of is, not going to lie. But what's going to happen with all of this, and I'm getting the fun of trying to set up 2 live splits, I just realized that. Might not do mine. But, essentially what will happen here is time will begin on the OK after I do the selection of difficulty, as well as being able to, or I forgot where I was, my bad. Doing 2 things at once, and I can't think. But time will begin on the OK after I select the difficulty. This difficulty actually allows us to use any arms with, for reference, that's the list of them. We've kind of done a lot of research and found one method winds up working real good, with the third arm being kind of a question mark, but I'll get into that a little more as we're going. But I'm ready to start time, so ready? Going? Alright, we're going to go ahead and get up in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, the thing with this is each character has a little dialogue blurb. Yeah, we can skip it. That's not important. That first one, there's the only one that you do want to use the start skip on. The rest of them pretty much just mashing. I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of set up right. Now, with the combination we've got here, I actually made a mistake early, but oh well, it's workable on this. Really want to use the Scylla and the Megaton, and if I was hitting shots correctly, I would effectively keep him locked down and just keep him down like that constantly. What you really want to do is have the Scylla and Megaton. Now, this can work with other combinations, but effectively you want the Megaton more for either doing big shots at the end, alright, he's being annoying, or when you're needing to do some extra damage. You want to avoid doing like I just did there too. Wow. Everyone saw me set this on easy, right? Yeah. Sometimes the AI just decides it doesn't want to play nice. Not even gonna lie on that. That kind of was a bad round one. But effectively what you want to do is you want to try to do that to each of them. And basically keep them in this weird frozen state because they're not capable of jumping or really doing much. Now, you'll probably notice whether Mummy does this on the first one or not is going to be a question, but you'll notice a lot of times they'll still go ahead and try to block. Most characters, you're fine with just going along with your route on it. Of course, he grabbed the Retorture, which is kind of a pain because it has 3 projectiles that you sometimes can't seem to block. But as long as you get it relatively quick, is all that matters. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize you can cheese it this way. It doesn't work so much the higher difficulties you go, but it does on easy and really level 2. Now, you do have 2 different sets of mini games. You got the round 3 mini game and the round 6. I actually got a really good round 3, even though I completely messed up the first part of it. Because what you really want to do is just play into them from the start. Now, I'm going to say this, I've had runs completely die to this one because of the fact that they'll bounce off the rim like that first shot. So that's kind of challenging. The other 2, which we'll definitely see one of them, but one of the other 2 we really don't want to. And, you know, since this is a marathon run, since I'm kind of on the rusty side, we're probably going to see it, and I'm probably going to do something really dumb with it. But, yeah, honestly, you really want to stay out of the way from any kind of arms that have multiple projectiles. And you want to kind of get them down like I did there and finish with the Megaton. It's honestly, the higher levels of playing in this game require actual skill with the game. I'm not gonna try to sit here and say that this one does, because quite frankly, easy is literally meant to be want to figure out ways that the AI can be. And to be fair, there's other ways for this as well, so I wouldn't be too dead set on you have to do this way. It's just this seems to be the most consistent way. Mainly because you basically can just keep them grounded and never have to worry about things. Until you get to Cobra that decides he just really loves his platforms. I love how Cobra can decide he wants to do that. Most runners of this game actually will tell you that they hate Kid Cobra's stage because of these platforms. I'm probably one of the few that are like, no, I kind of like it. Because I feel like the platforms give a unique take to it, and this was the mini game I didn't want to see. The other one that I wanted to see was volleyball, and the name pretty much says itself. This one you really don't want to see in easy because of the simple fact, and wow, I hate bite and bark. but it's mainly because it's a guaranteed 60 seconds of time loss, whereas with the with any of the other mini games, you can potentially make up time. So, like, I can already tell you this one's not going to be PB or world record based. Ooh, I barely pulled that out. That's why I got quiet there, because I have done dumb things with Bite and Bark, not even gonna lie. And I keep forgetting to split. I love it when I do that. Mechanica, this one's honestly one of the easiest to do, because for some reason Mechanica's AI doesn't really fight back. Like, you'll notice I'll get super aggressive with her, and for some reason the AI just refuses to fight. Her AI will sit there and take it nearly every time. Round 2, usually that happens right there where you kind of get a little bit of a showing, but if you dodge that initial attack, that happens. Trying to think of who else is it. Because we had Lollipop with Oops. That's honestly a good thing, because fighting her typically is a time loss because she likes to shield all the time. Honestly, a lot of the DLC characters are a pain if you have to fight them. If you catch them in a mini game, they're usually not a problem. Of the non-DLC fighters, Helix is probably the most RNG based, because if you can't get that initial freeze on him, his jump, he still is on the ground, his hitbox is still on the ground, and that happens more often than I'd like to. I see we have a Helix fan. Ah. I'm honestly surprised. Granted, he could still show up in the semifinals, but Misongo's the second worst out of all of them, and there's 15 fighters in total. The main reason is he, who, just like Lollipop, really loves to. And yeah. Okay, so I'll just whiff 2 shots. That works. Now, the warning, I really wanted to dodge that, and if I was paying attention to the health, I could have finished the fight a few seconds before that, because I could have threw the Megaton instead. That's one thing that keeps making me PB pace runs. It's one of those, I don't think about it. I just realized I somehow missed ground. That's why I was thinking that we can still see Misongo, but we actually are on the Max Brass bike. So that was my blunder there. I was fixing to say, I'm surprised that I am well over a minute behind and I've not even made it to. That was just me not paying attention to splits. Again, I say I'm rusty. Not a good excuse, but I haven't touched this game in a while. We're actually coming up on time here. Time is going to be when I hit next right here. So, time. And in a nutshell, that is ARMS. That's one of those that easy is kind of set up that way. One of those when you start doing the higher. Yeah, that was my fault there. Actually, I was keeping track of the overall time that came out to 12:10 on my side. My PB, just for comparison, is I want to say it's a 10:35, and world record is 10:07. So, and that was while I was far more practiced at it. But yeah, honestly, the higher difficulties you go, 4 adds in a additional stage where you fight what they call headlock, and 7 adds in the newest of the DLC fighters alongside Springtron. So those 3 of the 5 DLC fighters are actually designed for the in-game stuff. However, the other 2 be annoying. But that is ARMS, and we'll be going ahead and picking Jet Set Radio Future, doing PJ% by Jabro shortly. Stay tuned.